The beautiful Google Pixel 6a just came out, and Google actually sent me out this device, which is really cool. So I'll go ahead and give you a quick breakdown on exactly how to use your Google Pixel 6a. Now this is going to be a complete beginner's guide for the most part. So if you've used a Google Pixels or any Google Pixel before, then this video is not for you. But if you're brand new to the ecosystem and everything, then welcome. This is a great phone for the most part. $449, you can't really go wrong with it. Now, if you've already gone through the initial setup, which just tells you to put in your email and some other preferences here and there, and that is the starting point. I literally just set this Android phone up, and I just downloaded a few applications. Now, we're going to go through the basic setup and everything, but first, starting off with the outside, this specific phone is very beautiful. You have a pretty good display on this thing. It's 1080p. It has almost the same exact design as the Google Pixel 6, which is very interesting. So it's almost like the same setup, and we're saving a little bit of money on that too, which is really cool. You have a whole punch display with the front camera here. The bezels on this phone are fairly flat, so it gives you a good area where you can go ahead and actually hold this display in. Inbuilt fingerprint sensor in the display as well. On the top, there's really not much going on, just the antenna bands. On the bottom, 2 speaker sets and a USB Type-C port, which is really, really cool. You have on the back a full-on glass back, which is really cool. The only unfortunate thing is there is no wireless charging, but it's still a very good feeling phone, and there's not too much to complain about it in that standpoint. So I still think this phone looks really good. It's almost like exactly like the Pixel 6, which is very, very funny. The Pixel 5a looked a little different. With this one, it looks, almost exactly the same. You have 2 cameras that are kind of flush to the left side. You have the flash on the right side, but still that, Pixel layout with the, full-on glass back with the black strap on the back, which looks really good. Nothing on top. You have the power button on this side, as well as the 2 volume buttons, volume up and volume down. Now, in the box, there is a SIM card eject tool, which is really cool. If you want to go ahead and put your SIM card in your side of your phone, you do have that SIM card slot right on the right side. So within the box, if we go ahead and boot it up, or if we open it up, you will see right at the top right here, we do have the SIM card eject tray. So we can go ahead and pull this tool out like so. And right here within the actual Pixel 6a, you will see we have a little hole. It may be a little bit hard to tell, but right there we do have a hole. So what we can do is we can go ahead and take the little tool like this and go ahead and put it onto the right side of this phone, and we can go ahead and take out the SIM card tray and put in our SIM card. So put it in however normally you'd want to, go and slide it back in, pop it in, and that is it. You are good to go. As long as you got the specific variant for your specific device, I think most of them are unlocked, then you should be good to go for the most part, and you're almost set up. Now, when you actually get the phone for the first time, your phone may be powered off or it may be powered on. You can go ahead and click the power button one time and go and get into the display. If your phone is powered on or off and you want to power it on or off, you want to go and hold down that power button on the right side. Now, most of the time, you will probably get into this panel, so you will have to go ahead and hold down the power button, which is right here, and the volume up button at the same time. You can click them into place, and you can go ahead and power down or power on your specific Google Pixel 6a. So that is pretty much the first step. If your phone is completely powered off, you can go and just hold down on the power button and it'll go and power it on. If you want to turn it off, you can click on the 2 buttons there and you will go ahead and get into this panel. You can go and power it off, restart it, and go on from there. But there's another cool way where you can go ahead and restart your phone too. Now, getting out of here, you'll basically come into your home panel. Every time you boot up your Pixel 6a, you will come into your home panel, or you will come into your lock screen. So this is your lock screen. You will typically see your antenna band if you're connected to T-Mobile and AT&T. You'll see it on the left side. You'll see your Wi-Fi battery life on the right side. You'll see the time, sometimes the date as well. I don't know why my date's not showing. And then you will see a bunch of notifications here. As you can see, we have 1 notification, but if you got texts and messages and Snapchats and Instagrams and all those things, you will see all those messages and all those notifications right over here, which is really, really cool. If you have the fingerprint set up, you can go ahead and boot up your fingerprint or put it on the side right here, and it'll go ahead and unlock your phone. Now, one more thing I want to go ahead and showcase to you on the lock screen is the left and right toggles. So sometimes you can set up toggles on the left or right side to go ahead and get into your camera quickly, which you can set up in the settings over there. But you can also double tap on the screen. What you can also do is go ahead and double tap on your display like this to power on your display as well. So you don't necessarily have to go ahead and click the power button every time. Now on the lock screen, I think most of you probably already know how the Google Pixel launcher experience is. It's a beautiful lock screen that I love messing with. Now if you swipe to the left, there's pretty much just a little panel that shows you some news of your local area and different things like that. You can go ahead and also You can also go ahead and see your applications and everything, and you can swipe between pages. Now, if you hold down on the lock screen, you'll go ahead and be able to not only customize the lock screen and wallpaper, but you can go ahead and add widgets and modify your home setting. So if we click on widgets, you can go and see there are a bunch of different widgets we can add to the display. So whatever apps you have on your phone, you can go ahead and click on these specific widgets and add them to your home screen. We can also go ahead and click here and click Home Settings, and you can go ahead and change up a lot of different settings within your Google Pixel 6a screen as well. So you can go and turn on or off at a glance, which I don't really like having on, and there are lots of other options here too. Now on the bottom, you'll basically see this little bar. I think a lot of you may already know how to use gestures, but essentially with all the new Pixels and all the new Androids, we use a thing called gestures, which we don't really use buttons anymore. So if you want to get out of an application, you pretty much swipe up, and that is it. Google does a really good thing at actually allowing us to go ahead and see a little bar at the bottom. So imagine just grabbing that bar and taking it out of the way. Now, if you want to bring an application you just had in the background, you can literally just swipe on the side of that bar, and it can go ahead and help you swipe between applications. So you can see we had a couple of different things, so we can swipe between apps by pretty much dragging that bar and going in between apps. Now we can also get into our multitasking panel by essentially grabbing that bar and waiting until it vibrates at us, or just hopping out a little bit, and you'll basically come into this panel. So I'll go ahead and show you one more time, grabbing that panel and bringing it up just like this. This will actually allow you to go ahead and get into your multitasking panel, and this is something that you guys need to know. Sometimes, occasionally, you want to go ahead and clear out all your applications. So not only do you have the ability of quickly screenshotting and selecting different things within an application, but you can also swipe all the way to the side, click clear all, and kind of get into the habit of clearing out your applications. You don't have to do it every single day, but it is one of those things to kind of keep in mind. Now we also have the applications right here as well. So one of the cool things is we basically have the ability of going through and pretty much, using the applications we have on our home screen. But you can also go ahead and remove applications you don't like by holding down on an application, and you can go ahead and remove it by holding it down and swiping it up, and pretty much removing it by swiping it up to remove right there. You can also go through as always, and you can go ahead and open up the applications if you want to. You can swipe out of it just like this. You can even add a new application to a home screen. So you can go and swipe to the side right there. And you can go ahead and drop an application to another page like so, just like how we have all these other applications here too. If you want to bring it back, you just bring it back to the bottom toggle like this, and you can go and drag this one just like this. Now you can also see all the other applications you have on your phone too by swiping up, and you'll pretty much come into this panel. Now this panel will basically go ahead and show you all the different applications you have on your phone. So most of the time they're going to be the ones you already have installed or you downloaded. So you can go ahead and scroll through, see which applications you like, and you can always go ahead, and if you want to bring one to your home screen, you can hold it down, you can go and swipe it up, and it'll go ahead and allow you to drag and drop it anywhere on your display. In this case, we'll go ahead and remove it, but that's another cool thing that you can basically do on your specific Android phone. Now, another thing you want to do if you ever want to download any applications or anything, you can make your way over to your Google Play Store. So the application looks like this. I think a majority of you may already know what it looks like. And here you can download any application you want to. So in this case, if we wanted to go ahead and download something like Temple Run, or we can go ahead and type in Temple Run just like this, but we can also use the swipe keyboard. So if you want to swipe, you just basically drag in between all the keys, and you can go and type it in like this. It'll take you a while to get used to it, but it's really, really cool. So if you want to download an application, click here. As long as you're logged into your Google Play account, you can go ahead and install these applications. So in this case, we'll just go and skip this, and it'll allow us to download it. And that's another easy thing that you can do. Now, as you can see, it got a little dark on us. So now another thing we have the ability of doing is actually increasing our brightness. So what we can do is we can swipe down from the top of our specific panel like this, and you will see at the very top, you'll see a couple different panels. So you can go ahead and see you have the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a few other things too. Well, if we swipe down one more time, we can go and get into our brightness toggle. So here what we have the ability of doing is dragging the brightness up top, so you can go and drag it brighter and brighter to your specific settings, and you can see if we swipe out, you can see it looks pretty good, it looks better than what it was before. Swiping back down, you can go ahead and see we have our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flashlight, do not disturb, so many other options here, and you can swipe in between these panels, and you can actually go ahead and add new panels by clicking on the pencil icon right there, clicking there, and you can go ahead and drag and drop any of these other panel buttons down here, all the way to the top too, which is so awesome. Now hopping back up again, if you go ahead and swipe down one more time, we can go ahead and, like I mentioned before, powering down and powering on your Android phone, you can go and click on the power button here, and it can also allow you to get into that same panel we were just in. So you can go ahead and, just like before, we can power off our phone, we can restart our phone, so many other things we have the ability of doing here, which is so cool. Now hopping back out of here, I showed you already how to basically, utilize your home screen, how to go ahead and install applications and so many other things. Now another big thing you should get used to kind of on your Pixel phone is updating your Android phone, but you can't do that unless you actually go ahead and get into your settings. So let's go ahead and find our settings applications. We can swipe up and we can pretty much get into settings if we go and click on settings right there. And then what we want to do is pretty much just get used to this whole entire settings panel. So here we have network and internet. A lot of these things are self-explanatory, so I would recommend going through here and just getting used to this specific panel and pretty much going through each individual setting and kind of getting used to it. Network and internet is pretty much just Wi-Fi and internet connections, connected devices like Bluetooth and different things like that. Apps is a big one. All your applications you'll basically use on your phone are right here. Notifications, so if you want to manage your notifications, they're going to be here as well. Your battery, so if you want to turn on battery saver, if you want to go ahead and turn on adaptive battery and turn on battery percentage, I would recommend doing that as well on your Pixel phone, so you can see your battery percentage. Storage, you can modify your storage, sound and vibration, and display settings, which is right here. If you actually want to go ahead and turn off the dark theme on your phone, some people may like it, may not, you can go and turn it off just like so, and you can see it'll be turned off. So some people actually prefer it off. I prefer it off for videos. Now hopping back out, you can see we have wallpaper and style, which we kind of talked about, privacy settings, location, security, so many other options here. All these other ones are pretty much the same. You can modify your Google account here as well. But right under system, this is a big one. So go ahead and click on system right there. And what we have the ability of doing essentially is updating your Android phone. And because this is a Google Pixel, you are getting day one updates for a long period of time. So what I would recommend doing is clicking on System Update. And here you'll basically be able to see any updates that you have on your Google Pixel 6a. Now, because like I said, this is an Android phone, it's stock Android, it's going to be getting updates for a very long amount of time. So I would recommend coming into this System Update panel and just updating your phone as often as you can. I think that's a really important thing you need to do. And as always, you can always check for updates here. And that should end up helping you at least getting used to your phone being updated as often as possible. So those are pretty much the main ways and main things you can do on your Google Pixel 6a, and that is essentially a beginner's guide. If you ever have any questions or concerns, or if you ever run into any problems on your Google Pixel 6a, you can always search on Google, but another thing you can do is search within the settings application. So go and click on settings right there, and what I would recommend doing is swiping up and just searching your settings. If you want to know how to, find your applications, or if you're wondering how to screen record, or anything like that, feel free to search it within your settings app and you might be able to find the answer for it. For example, if you want to know where Bluetooth is, just start typing in Bluetooth and you'll see that Bluetooth starts coming up. You can click on it and you'll be able to come straight into Bluetooth. So that is a really awesome tip, and I would recommend you all to utilize that as often as possible. So that is pretty much how to use your Google Pixel 6a at a high level. If you have any other thoughts or questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.